Hey, Wanderers, and welcome back to the Wandering Gamer Network Plays Kingdom Hearts 3. I'm Zach.
And I'm Mandi. And let's see how long we can watch cutscenes for tonight before we give up.
Oh, man. We got like 5 hours left of this game, too, Mandi.
Alright. I really should stop being so hard on it, but it is really difficult when, so we've mentioned this before, Caitlin and Cody are currently playing Mass Effect at the same time that we're playing this. They must have started, what would you say, maybe a month and a half ago?
I think they started in August.
Was it really? Yeah, okay, so a month and a half ago,
Yeah.
2 months. So a month and a half ago, 2 months ago, they started playing Mass Effect. And they, I believe, are finishing it tonight. And
To be fair, they do play a lot more every time than we do.
That is true, yeah.
Because we sit and talk and be friends, and up until recently, Caitlin was saying, like, she'd get there at, like, 7:15, and they would just record until 9:45 every time. Like,
Okay, so they're really pushed. So, but still, I think that would have meant maybe another 3 weeks of playing, and we've been playing this way longer. And we're probably going to have to go at least one other play session besides this one. We're on a new play session, by the way. Before we even get close to, like, being done.
It's sad.
It's okay.
We're definitely... This is not going to be our last one.
No.
Not by a long shot. Like,
no, because we got to get to
I
whatever
have
last
somewhere
world
around,
is.
like, 15 boss fights, Mandi.
No, yay.
Like, and I'm not even kidding.
On top of all of the cutscenes.
Right.
And it sounds like at some point...
and there's just parts of this game that are literal filler
yeah.
in the next world. Like, you didn't need it. You'll see it when... You'll know when it happens.
Oh, I'm sure. Well, I mean, that's been most of the game. I do like the idea of this. However, I don't know where we're going. Why are we in, like, a giant cube structure thing?
I don't know.
What? Did I miss something in the last?
No, it's just... 'cause Gummy Ship?
Well, no, but before we've been flying through space. Like,
Well, it's like we're in, like, a maze in space.
yeah, why?
You're asking very reasonable questions.
Is this something that's the darkness? Or, I don't know.
But yeah, I'm also just, like, upset with them playing Mass Effect, because they, like, started out hating it probably as much as we hate this. And then they, like, finally, like, got into it, and I'm like, stop having a good time while me and Mandy are sitting here.
You know what happened. What happened is they weren't getting the right dating sim responses, and then in Mass Effect you get exactly one saucy scene with somebody, and they finally got to that point. So basically they did the dating sim part of it, and they're happy now.
Yeah.
Which I guess makes sense. That's okay, we're excited. We've already talked about what the next game for us is going to be. That's going to be just silly and lighthearted and fun.
And saucy.
And saucy, which is exactly what we need after this.
I'm so excited.
I'm excited too. I don't know if we want to give it away. Or
I mean,
if
we can, you know, people. We're going to play Monster Prom.
Woo!
We get to go and date hot monsters.
I'm super excited. It's gonna be fun. And I was looking more into it last night. There's a lot of online personalities who have voiced characters for it. I don't think they talk all the time. I think it's just like...
Yeah, it'll be a little bit more read...
dude, or whatever.
It'll be a little bit more read heavy for us, but I'm cool with that. You know, like, nothing will be worse than us having to sit through, like, literal hours of cutscenes per world.
At least we can time our own dialogue that way.
We can practice different accents, Mandi.
Oh, fun. Yeah, considering I feel a little bit bad because okay, so I don't know if Caitlin will ever watch this, but I was like maybe an episode away from going full Southern accent in our current playthrough of Outlaws Wanted. And then Caitlin started doing it, and I was like, I can't do it now. Shoot! I was just kind of like, whatever. I'm just gonna try and do a voice that's slightly deeper than my own.
That's what I'm doing for Sully.
Yeah, I don't know how much it comes across that it's different from mine, but I try to take like beats and pauses before talking like Vi.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
It's hard for me. Well, the problem I'm having is I sometimes slip into the voice Vinny was doing for Crystal Heart.
Well, it's funny. I totally forgot what voice he was doing. Oh yeah, he was
like George Takei and Spock.
Yeah, that's right. Okay.
And like sometimes I actually do that because like I'm like just pitching my voice lower into that register that is more George Takei sounding.
Well, and the way that because Sully is trying to be more formal,
right.
There's a little bit of pausing. Just I think not at all your fault, but I'm sure it comes off as like for you feeling a little awkward.
Yeah.
So it's trying to find that balance.
I'm getting killed. I hate these stupid things. Ugh. We might die.
No. Then we have to do it again.
I know. Well, I spent like an hour and a half leveling up today, so no.
Dang it. Swing.
We should have done this on
He's so grumpy.
easy. But you live and you learn.
Is this normal?
Yeah.
Okay.
And like it's not really hard if we cared at all about this, but we've been kind of racing through it, so like it's kind of that thing where like we were super under leveled. I found out today.
Yeah.
Where it's like recommended level is 42 and we were 35.
Well, it's impressive that we got that far.
Right?
Without really, really having to level.
We had to, yeah. I did some leveling in the beginning once. But, like, that's not too grindy that I only had to do, like, 2 grind sessions with us, like, not doing anything outside.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. I don't even like this ship design. I'm already at that point where I'm just like, really? This isn't that interesting, and I'm confused why there's a ship just sitting here. Is this the control panel for whatever this giant thing is? What is this giant thing? Is this part of the new world? Kingdom Hearts, I am dumb. Explain something to me, please. My brain don't think right. Don't get it. I see your little heartless symbol, but that doesn't tell me anything.
Do you know what the worst part about, like, Cody and Mandy, Cody and Caitlin being so far ahead? It's just like, I have to, like, watch all of those Let's Plays now to edit them.
Oh, and you get to hear them having fun?
No, it's more it's more just, like, they're so far ahead. It's like, I was keeping up with them for a little bit, but then, like, school started and I haven't been keeping up with things. But it's like, so I have to, like, catch up on, like, all of them playing this 17-hour game, and they come up with, like, here's 10 episodes that we recorded today, and I'm like, stop doing it so fast.
Yeah.
Well, that's the problem, because I was trying to keep up with ours and theirs, and when they're like doing 6 or 7 episodes, it's just hard to find the time to watch that much content in a week with like keeping up with other stuff that I actually want to watch, like not be like quote unquote working at.
Yeah.
And granted, like they're amusing to listen to.
Yeah,
but it's still it's work compared to like me watching like miniature painting videos where I just get to watch some guy paint these miniatures amazingly.
Ooh, that sounds fun.
It's really good, and it makes me feel very inadequate when I paint anything.
I will say, you getting into minis, because you messaged us today about finding stuff around our house to help make the terrain for your miniatures.
Yeah.
That makes me want to get into like.
Do you want to get into Warhammer with me?
I don't think that far, but like I want to. Okay, so there's a very small part of me after reading of Dice and Men that wants to get more into war games.
That's what Warhammer is.
Only because I want to build like the terrain. I want to build like here. Okay, there's a part. I'm sure you remember this. But there's a part that I always think of in campaign, the podcast campaign. It's very early on where like the DM removes the screen and all the guys are like disappointed that there's not like a tiny village behind her DM screen to show where everything is. And I'm like, I want to build that. I don't want to run a game. I just want to build that.
Just look at this place.
Another YouTube. Man, I was that close to winning. Like I was at the final part.
Oh wow, you really were.
That's another channel I watch is this guy who just does crafts, like does crafting of buildings and terrain and all that just for his D&D game. Ooh. It looks so good.
Right.
But it's also like the startup for it is just so expensive.
That's the thing is like, well, and even if it's not like building it for like a D&D game, like okay, say you're building for a D&D game and you're doing like these intense dungeons, like unless you're doing a dungeon that's like a real dungeon crawl, then you're making like something that's only gonna be in the game for so long, and it's like, well, what was the point of having this for 3 hours just to show you where this combat was gonna take place?
Well, what he does is he has a battle mat for like outside, and then inside he just uses dungeon tiles, so they're like modular. So he can like stack them together in different ways, and it's still the dungeon.
That's nice.
And then a lot of like what he crafts are like more like set pieces. So like granted, like they are only used for like a certain amount.
Sessions, yeah.
But it's still like, or he can use them multiple times. Or it's like he made a hag's hut once where he's like, oh, this is a cool thing that I can just use as a prop. Like it can be the center of like one thing, but then like it can just give atmosphere otherwise.
That's cool. I'll have to watch that.
I can send you the links to him.
Oh, please do.
It's Black Magic Craft, and he's really good. But the thing is, like, he uses like these like hot wire cutters and like this expensive stuff where it's like $150.
Oh yeah.
And he like does stuff where it's like, oh, you wouldn't have to do this. But I've tried cutting foam before with like just knives, and it's a pain in the butt.
Yeah. Well, like I love watching on Facebook. So you'll see like the here's a DIY fairy house for like your garden, right? And so you take like a 2-liter bottle and you take a bunch of cardboard and like you watch this sped up video of this person creating this like fairy hut looking thing that is gorgeous, and then you keep watching it and you're like, how did you know to make certain like you're clearly an artist because you can see how to cut up the cardboard to make it look like bricks or stone or like the wood panelings on a roof, and you're just like, well, of course I can't do that. I do not have this.
Too brightly.
Oh my gosh, who are these people?
It must be extinguished in order for the truth.
Are these all the same guy in different past, present, future, or something?
Ish.
Oh no.
Only when your hopes have been broken.
Why do you get a cool helmet?
Can the key be claimed?
Did you guys practice this?
They had to, right?
You is what we shall do.
That kind of stuff always, like, the idea of that always cracks me up. Where it's like, just like, I imagine them, like, in front of a mirror, just like, alright, take it from the top. Your light shines brightly. No, you came in too early!
5, 6, 7.
We gotta time this right.
We've been building to this for 50 hours.
Get ready!
There's a lot of them.
Alright.
Alright, here we go.
All of the monsters, but only the ones that are directly here because, you know, the other ones are just gonna hover.
They're gonna wait their turn.
They really are waiting their turn, though. That's so funny. It is really entertaining now watching the ones in the back. Whee! Oh wow, it really does too have like your own little circle that you can stay in.
Right.
Are those big bug ones? That's from the Monster World.
Yeah.
Right? Man, that seems so long ago.
One day we'll be finished.
You know what's hilarious? Okay, so back to my my Disney trip from at this point a couple months ago. So we never ride Cali River Rapids in Animal Kingdom because every time we've gone as a family, it's been like Christmas time, so it's closed.
Oh, it closes at Christmas?
I think so.
Oh, that might be when they refurb it.
I was gonna say, I think it goes down for refurbishment, so yes, it's closed, but I think that's just their excuse, you know, like, because it's a water ride that can, like, actually get people cold and, like, soaking wet versus, like, Splash Mountain, so I'm sure they're kind of like,
well, it's also, like, not as...
refurb this.
It's not as popular as Splash Mountain by any stretch.
Oh, yeah, definitely. But it is really funny because I finally wrote it, and I feel like I definitely subscribe to the, like, if you're the person who doesn't want to get wet, you're gonna be the one who gets soaked, and that was me. But yay, I didn't, and it was exciting. But I finally got to go on that ride and was like, oh, this is fun.
Yeah, I like it well enough. The problem I have is just, like, at a certain point, I don't want to be walking around an amusement park sopping wet.
Yep, same.
So, like, when I do it, I usually go, like, last thing. You know?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Look at all the Heartless.
Woo. Actually, that was the one day that we decided to, we actually left. I've never left an amusement park in the middle of the day, but we, like, Animal Kingdom, I feel like it's still, if you do it right, it's still like a half-day park.
Well, it's because all it has, they added 2 rides, one of which is worthless.
Yeah, River Journey is not good.
That's putting it very nicely, too.
Well, the thing is, okay, I actually really, really like the animatronic. But the animatronic is not worth the ride.
The thing that you have to say, the animatronic. Not the animatronics, the one.
No, but the one shaman is so cool looking, and watching her movements, like, she's the most, you know, natural looking humanoid animatronic to me. Because, I mean, a lot of the other stuff you have to cloak with, like, distance and tricks. But the fact that she is, like...
I think Ariel's pretty good.
Ariel's pretty good, too.
She does have a cartoon look to her.
That's what I was going to say, is Ariel is very cartoon, so you can kind of get away with a little bit more. But the way that the Heartless are just so useless. The little black ones.
Also, like, so I understand you're trying to show that this is a huge battle, like, this is the end of everything. But I'm like, I'm just kind of bored, you know?
Yeah, at some point, it does... We need to take them out in groups.
They just keep coming.
Thank you. But then you look at that, and it's just like, they look like popcorn. Just like... Oh, that's so funny. I'm so entertained.
Pop.
Yeah, there's definitely a point. Actually, it goes back to our... Also, those do not look good. Ooh, those flappy ones looked really rough. Did you see that?
I did.
That looked like the frame rate went down, and I don't even know enough to actually talk about that like a real thing. Okay, that's a cool stopping point, though. Alright, good job, game. You stopped it, and that was fun.
I learned glide.
Oh, finally.
Everybody else has gone on ahead.
Oh, have they?
They have.
Mickey doesn't want to hang out with us?
Do you blame him?
Right. No, but that's what I was going to say is actually Cody and I have talked about this a lot in terms of... RPGs or like any of the games that we've played on our podcast, which, you know, go listen to that.
Wait, we have a podcast?
Yeah.
Why didn't you tell me?
But yeah, that's where it's like you can give an enemy like a ton of HP, but at some point it's just boring to like take turns hitting something.
Right, because like there is a point where like D&D just turns into like, what do? I fire another arrow at him.
Yeah.
You know, like you run out of spells, you run out of stuff being interesting.
Yeah, so it's like, okay, so what can you do to, you know, up the game so it's different?
Well, I think we're gonna stop here though.
Sounds good.
We can continue this next time on the Wandering Gamer Network plays Kingdom Hearts 3. But until then, I'm Zach.
And I'm Mandy, and keep
Hey.
wandering.
Why I changed the outro completely. Hello, Wanderers, and thanks for listening to this episode of the Wandering Gamer Network plays Kingdom Hearts 3. We hope you enjoyed it. If you would like to hear more content from the Wandering Gamer Network, check out the link in the description below. We have several actual play podcasts, including D&D 5th Edition and City of Mist. Until next time, keep wandering.